Okay, Rams game, turn 39. This is Torsion, joined by my co-host Blackmane. Blackmane, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Torsion?
Doing well. Looks like we got a lot of action this turn, and another global going up.
Exciting. There was a little bit of a slow period, but it seems like World War has begun again. And it is
Earthblood Deep
Earthblood
Well
Deep Well.
by Ulm, I believe.
It's definitely in the dominant position. This solidifies that.
And we got a little bit of back and forth between Facia and
Hmm.
Shamba going on as well here. Let's see
Is this a
which.
mind tool attempt?
Yeah,
Yeah, magic jewel rather.
yep, first a. What was. Oh, 50-50 odds, I think, right? Because this is a
Yeah,
S4.
worth it.
Definitely worth it. These are
Yeah.
expensive mages, but they did. How do you twice
Twice one.
spawn
How did? Well, that's odd. Is there a special?
Shamba ability?
Maybe there's a special Shamba
There's
ability.
gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Well, regardless, they lost the duel. It's actually better than 50-50, right? Because on a tie, they both die.
Yeah. So it is better.
That
That
was a,
would be.
yeah, good move by Shamba. No complaints.
Yeah. Yes, there's a spell called Self Mummification
Ooh.
that M.A. Shambhala has.
Does it
Astral
turn them
2
into
Level 1.
mummies? Because aren't
According
mummies
to.
immune to things like Soul Slay?
Um, it turns them into immobile mummies.
Oh, mobile mummies. Interesting.
Immobile and undead with a +1 priest level.
So we
Very
got
interesting.
some using these guys as a PD raider. Not sure how I feel about this.
That seems a little bit. Hmm.
Expensive. They're extremely expensive mages, right? The Hidden Masters?
I assume it was using this way to. Although there's nothing in this province. I don't know
No.
why he decided to jump in here. He's
Yeah.
presumably magic phasing them in. Oh, some got past.
Yeah, maybe he was thinking.
He does have them twice born, so he
Yeah.
might not care too much.
But still, if they become immobile.
I guess those ones then have to become the
Yeah.
crafters or mine hunters, this kind of thing.
385.
And there might be, it could be a mobile, but it might not be teleport mobile. In
Oh,
which
okay.
case, yep.
Ryuga cleaning up some indies. Yes, doing the
That might
same.
have been a throne. I saw a Mind Lord. Suggests it might be a Mind Lord throne.
Yes.
Yes.
Throne of bureaucracy. Okay. Cleans up their
Very nice.
dominion a little bit.
Yep.
And we've got Ulm a little raiding back and forth with TC. I don't know if Ulm's committing hard enough. These
Yeah,
forces
it
seem
seems to
relatively
be
small.
maybe some other things going on. I wouldn't be surprised if there's, murmurings of an anti-Ulm coalition, given how large they're getting.
Quite a few sacreds in this army.
Relay, the AI relay is still holding on.
Oh, here we go.
A win for TC.
Significant.
So there was that commitment, but unfortunately,
Okay, so we got a large communion going up. What do we
we
got
have
on?
kind of not much, just a couple of mages here.
Yeah,
I'll be doing some buffs.
not a ton of gear on the Black Lords either.
It's basic gear. Looks like Orm has not quite cottoned on to the cold iron blades and their power in this particular game.
More Gift of Heaven spam. Okay.
Oh,
And,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
yep, mixing in some Howl.
Oh, something else just went up.
Some Swarm. This may be another case where TC's doing more damage with its own Gift of Heaven than Ulm does.
Yeah, it's certainly a indiscriminate spell, that's for sure. And looks like they're running. So there's a bit of an oversimplification in the minions, but there's this basic idea where in mid game, the person who brings the most mages is the person who wins. And this is very simplistic, but you can see here the simplistic approach is kind of coming true. TC just brought a whole stack of mages, and that force multiplier meant that it could just hold on.
It looks like they did burn out the Communion again. Not sure anything can really be done about that.
In my experience, generally, as a human communion nation, you just have to expect that you're going to lose slaves.
That
It's
Earth
very difficult
Elemental's
to
actually coming in quite handy, cleaning up the Magma Warriors. Otherwise, I think TC struggles with the Magma Warriors quite a bit.
Yeah, they're still relying a bit on those crossbows,
Yeah.
which are not helpful versus Magma Warrior. But I think the Magma Warrior, a lot of the strength of the Magma Warrior comes from the Tower Shield, which I don't fully remember the mechanics of Trample, but I'm pretty sure shields are not effective.
Yeah, and the defense from a shield does not count towards trample
Yeah,
avoidance.
the defense does not count, but the encumbrance does. Like the negative, not encumbrance, rather the negative defense from like a heavy shield. So
Oh yeah, here we go.
big army coming in.
Shamba committing.
195 Herberg crossbows. This has been a Herberg game.
Yeah, we saw those
There's
mercenaries do
mercenaries.
work. The right giant's cleaning up. Ryuga doing a little thugging to clean up some indies.
The never-ending indie attacks.
Ooh, that's a bummer.
Oh, lost that hidden master.
Is this the one that was sitting behind? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay, so got it twice, Born. Ooh.
Oh, lost a Morgan princess.
Yeah. Not
That
ideal. Okay, so there we go. Turn 39. Ulm TC war continues to be a bit of back and forth. Shamba is moving extremely strongly onto Phaeacia. Flagra coming back a little bit. And then
Still holding on. What a survivor.
Dragons in Atlantis not doing a whole lot. Will be interesting to see what they do moving forward here.
Dragons seem to be mostly consolidating, which makes sense if they had very low research and not a lot of infrastructure before. Atlantis is a big wild card because they're quite strong in terms of the game position. They have some big armies around on that western border, so must be planning something, maybe to attack Yiz.
Their income's actually, or province count's low. Well, Ulm is so far ahead, so I guess they're fine. They're middle of the pack.
Yeah,
Their
Ulm is doing so much better.
fort count is relatively low. It's right there with Shinu. Income, right there at the, yeah, where it should be.
At the top.
Gem income, yeah.
In the middle.
And then research.
And the research has died off a bit.
Yeah, they're a bit low on research. Huh. It'll be interesting to see what Atlantis does here.
Yeah, hopefully they. I mean, from this perspective, there's a little bit of a tricky situation where you worry if you attack one of the other water nations, then you're going to get ganked by the other one. But certainly, I think it's in their best interest to fight Yiz.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's their play.
And apologies to the viewers here. We lost turn 40, so we're going to jump ahead to turn 41 and have to play a little bit of guess what happened.
Catch up. It's going to turn out that was a turn that everything happened.
Yeah, some stuff happened. Some thrones have been claimed. A new prophet. Okay, looks like Ulm's committing a decent number of forces, but like you mentioned before, low mage count for, I think, the ratio. Is there a troop to mage ratio that you would recommend our viewers look at? Or, okay, hold on. Before you say it depends. Obviously, if you're point buffing or something like that, you're using more mages. But is there maybe a minimum threshold? Like 3 mages in 130 troops seems low.
It does, but it also partly seems low. I mean, it's major. The amount of power that an individual mage has is so variable that it's really an impossible question to ask.
Yep.
And I know this will be a frustrating answer, but I think the answer is you should be really what you want to do is bring precisely the number of mages that will mean you win the fight. Which is a frustrating answer because, well, how many mages is that? But
yeah,
but that's kind of a
and from
Dominions, right?
Ulm's perspective here, you've got black plate infantry, you've got crossbows, so you're gonna want things like Strength of Giants, Legion of Steel, maybe fire arrows.
Yeah, which I think if we watch this battle, it won't be too interesting in terms of the combat itself, but we can see what the script is of the Smiths. And my guess is that he's casting Strength of Giants, Legion of Steel, which is a good combo. It's efficient.
The troops aren't even holding.
Let's see what he's doing. Or is he just summoning Magma Warriors with him?
Well, it's probably not. The PD's not going to... Yeah, temper... Yeah.
Yeah, so he's casting his Ulm-specific ones and buffs. Yeah, he has some Earth Gems, maybe for Magma Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go, Flaming Missiles. So he's doing these kinds of spells, which is efficient. So this is like the right number of mages. So one of these big games you're playing is, well, you don't want to overcommit mages because that's going to hurt your research. But if you undercommit mages, you might lose the war. And so in this case, Ulm is committing enough mages to make this force, gives the force a little bit of a force multiplier, so it will beat a normal set of units. But we can see that TC is committing like 20 mages and doing a huge Gifts of Heaven committee and this kind of thing. And so Ulm's commitment is not enough now. He needs to ramp that up to match.
Yeah, because you see here, they did not get strength boosted.
Yeah, I think they got nothing because they just ran forward.
Yeah. And I think...
Which I think he's trying to avoid the Gifts of Heaven a bit by not just having a big blob.
Which makes sense. I think some of the buffs, though, ended up targeting the crossbows.
Yeah, they did in the end.
Yeah, 20 prot.
Which is a bit of a pity. Anyway, I don't think this is a criticism on Ulm's game in any way. They've been playing very well.
Ooh.
Oh, bogus.
Interesting.
Knowing how many mages to bring to a particular fight, it's like one of those things that's easy as when you're casting a game to be like, oh, you should roll the mages. But of course, you have to judge in the moment. It's much harder.
What is this force here from TC? So Flagra's attacking them.
That might be a mercenary. There is a mercenary, Coldal mercenary.
It's gotta be, right? That's a national summon for like Mitclan and Satis or something, yeah.
There may be... DE has some extremely rare sites that sometimes give pretty powerful units.
It does look like with the Lizard Warriors and the Banders, this is 2 mercenary companies, though, would be my guess.
Look like it to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's dead anyway, so...
Yep. And we got TC leveraging the Pretender to do some cleanup.
Yeah, the Thug.
Shamba with the Shark Thugs. Yes, cleaning up some indies. Oh,
Orm
interesting.
Academy is.
Oh, this was an
That's
indie
insane.
province.
Ah, they traded. They bumped each other in the Indie province. Yeah, they did.
Let's see. This was Ulm. Ooh,
By
interesting.
years.
Aggressive move by Yiz.
Ah, yeah. So it might have been that coalition we thought was perhaps brewing here.
Yeah, right outside
Or
an Ulm
yeah.
throne.
Or uses just uh, you know, Orm is busy with TC. Maybe they think they can be a bit rude. Ah, here we go.
Not a good outcome for Faisha.
Not at all.
Jesus. This army got a little bigger in that turn that we missed.
That's 300 spearmen.
So what went up there? Storm, Grip of Winter.
Winter. Whoa. That's some Evo.
Oh, Falling Frosts, right?
Big falling frost, yeah.
And yeah, their Facia's mages are all dead already.
Didn't even get the chance to put off that big
Jesus.
Thunderstrike.
And Foul Vapors.
Wow,
That's a...
Bod went hard.
Yeah, Shamba.
So yeah, Shamba.
Oh, they do have the Water Serpent, which starts the battle
Oh,
casting Serpent's
right.
Blessing.
Great combo. Good job by Bod.
I'm a big fan of Shamba. I think they're a little tricky to play. I think the meta around
And
them's
Bod. Shamba.
underdeveloped in DE, but I think there's a ton
Yeah,
of potential here.
I agree. They're actually in the finals for the Reddit tournament. So
Yep.
definitely. And I think they won a game as well, one of the qualifiers. So very interesting nation.
Yeah.
They're what I would call a toolbox nation. They kind of get a bit of everything.
Yeah, they've got Blood, they've got Astral, they've got Death. So you've got access to a lot of nice late game stuff.
Yep.
They might be a little bit weak early just because of how expensive some of their mages are.
And then they also have those pretty decent sacreds, which you can
Yeah,
use as a get off me tool. They get access to the um, South Asian gods pretenders, which are often powerful early game
yep. I think a lot of people play
anti-rush.
them lean away from the sacreds just because of the cost and more towards scales, but yeah, I think it's a powerful nation. It's just I don't think it's well understood what's the optimal way to play them.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of these. It reminds me a little bit of Vana Rus, where you have this nation that it has access to a lot of tools, but you have to apply the right tool, which can be tricky. But when you do, then they're very powerful. Just some cleanup.
That's a lot of sacreds to just be marching. I guess there's not a ton of use for them at this phase of the game, but ooh, here we go.
Another win for TC.
Yeah, and a few more mages here on the Ulm side. Not enough troops. Maybe we missed
Yeah,
something
still
that whittled this army down the prior turn. Whoa, what was that start of battle spell? Oh, a fire cart?
on this house. Yep. There's
Yeah.
like 5 cards on it. Yeah, there it is.
And let's see what this volley does. Pretty good work right off the bat. Wiped out a
Yep.
mage. Yeah, these
Oh,
mages don't seem to have any gems.
yeah,
So
no
no...
gems.
Oh, some fire
A little bit
gems.
there, but whoa, that gets to heaven.
Yeah.
Orm needs to find an answer soon. He's in
Yep.
trouble. I think that previous big battle that they lost, we were talking about their mage numbers. I really think if they just had another 4 or 5 smiths putting up magma warriors,
Oh,
they
they would have
probably
won.
would have won.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is a trap we all fall into. I fall into all the time. I think that Dominions plays in general, we often over research. We, instead of thinking about what we need to win the next war and then using those mages in that war to win convincingly, we kind of just, we don't want to lose them. We want to keep that big research lead. So we just keep labbing.
Yeah, researching for research's sake. I also
Yeah.
find myself doing that sometimes with summons or artifacts. Like
Yeah, because
good
you don't want to lose the fight.
artifacts.
So you end up
Like I'm
not
like,
using it.
oh, I want the horror harmonica, so I'll build the boosters to get there, or forge the master anvil, etc., etc. And then it's like, but what am I gonna do with the horror harmonica once I get it?
Yeah, definitely something we're all guilty of. I think it's called playing Pokemon. We all do it,
Yeah.
but it's a bad habit for sure.
Okay, so taking a quick glance here, Atlanta seems to be moving forces towards the border with Phaecia. Maybe they've seen Shamba and the progress they're making. Looks like Phaecia still has a huge army here coming in behind, but looks like they may have emptied some of their other forts.
Yeah, it's do or die for Phaecia now.
Flegra still holding. Yiz not doing a ton. Surprised they're not taking advantage of the weakness that Phaecia has shown now with Shamba. And then the TC Ulm front. A bit of pressure here by Ulm on the first fort, but they got to come up with some answers. Because this army's probably going to get smacked around by the Gift of Heaven spam the following turn.
Yeah, and TC's big enough that they can't just win with pure macro.
Yep.
Form does need to find counters.
Yep.
Now, Asphodel, they could kind of win regardless just because they're so much bigger.
Just lean on them.
Yeah, but this is more a fight between equals.
Well, there's turn 41. Apologies for missing turn 40 again, folks, but doesn't seem like we missed anything monumental. But who knows? A little bit of fog of war to keep things interesting. Anything before we wrap?
Why don't we have a look at the research graph?
So research, we'll take Asfo off of this as well as Rely. So we've got Shinu way up there. Ulm. Shamba. And then a big gap. And then you've got TC. You see here the curve is broken off. TC deploying all those mages. But still decent research, and they're making use of the research they do have.
Yeah, definitely the right play.
And then right behind them is Phaecia and Yiz. And then a bit of a gap down to Atlantis. And then a significant gap down to Dragons and Flegra.
Dragons, they've really struggled to get that research infrastructure up this game.
Yep.
But
And
the nation can perform very well even with just Conch 5. So they don't need it necessarily.
they're a leader in forts. Yet their research is bottom of the barrel.
Or maybe we'll start to see them slowly pick up now.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Obviously, Drain
Another
3 hurts, but...
Oh, yeah, Drain 3 is rough. The other thing I was interested to look at is, what's Shinu doing? They still haven't fought a single war at turn 40.
You want to talk about
the
Pokemon?
leader in research. Yeah, I think they might be playing Pokemon. They've got Mother Oak. Come on, Shinu. We want to see some excitement.
Earthblood Deepwell is gone.
Oh, that's odd. Maybe that's what we missed. Did it get dispelled?
Or did the Colossus die?
Hmm.
No, because I think he put up Eternal Pyre?
That was some time ago.
Yeah, the
I wonder
Colossus
what
must have
happened.
put up Pyre. So yeah,
Yeah.
must have been a Dispel. Interesting.
Hmm. Okay, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah. Thank you, and look forward to catching up next episode.
Me too.